Welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Gemini for January 2021. Just want to say a big thank you to all my returning subscribers and new subscribers, and always appreciate all your likes and comments. So I'll get right into it here very shortly. Just want to say Happy New Year and glad we made it through 2020. It's been a real rocky road, I think, for a lot of us in 2020. But anyway, I have pulled a few different decks here, so I am going to be going through oracle cards as well as I pre-pulled just to make it a lot easier. Because my readings can be a little bit longer. So I've got oracle cards, Rider-Waite deck, and I'm also pulling from the fortune reading cards, which is what I'll start off with here, and that's what I've got with it by Sharina Starr and Richard Crooks. So overall, the energies were pretty positive for you, Gemini, for the month of January. If I were just to go through a quick synopsis, I would say for the most part, I mean, you're still building on the money aspects. I feel that there's still a lot more contemplation going on in the month of January. However, I did see toward the middle third week of January, it looks as though you've got some kind of an opportunity coming through. There's a few victories coming through and some successes, so definitely something that you're completing or levels of completion, on various levels. I do feel that there is some kind of a conflict that is going to be rising up probably in about that second week. Could be related to a relationship or business partnership or something fairly close to you. I would say that it is resolvable. However, it's not something that you need to really focus on. I don't think it's going to be extremely scarring, but I do feel that there is something around that energy that will be leaving you with a little bit of back and forth energy over the course of January, over the month of January. So I feel that you are definitely very dedicated and moving on your projects. But again, there's a lot of pullback, a lot of retreat, some hermit cards, that kind of thing that came through. So I feel that you're doing a lot of introspection and certainly some intuitive work to maybe heal through some residual of a relationship issue there. But again, I feel that there's an opportunity for some of you toward the end of third to fourth week, end of the month, that does relate to some kind of a new opportunity. And either it's some kind of a new job that's coming through, but it's definitely good news, something that you're going to be encouraged to celebrate. And there is also some indicator that for others of you that it's related around a new position in an existing company. I feel it's something you already know about, but I feel that it still takes you by surprise in hearing about it, perhaps because it's happening a little earlier than you expected. But either way, so that's just a general synopsis, definitely more career oriented for the month of January, really focused on your projects. So, and that goes in line with the first card out here. So goals is what we are looking at. So it is progress is positive and personal goals will be achieved. So as I said, I feel this is more passion project related. I feel that you're working on more than one front here. I don't think that this is just related to a passion project. I feel that some of you are actually, you do have a side job as well as a regular job, and you're doing a multitude of things. But either way, with this particular card here, it does indicate that something that you thought was unreachable is actually closer than you think. And when I say close, I don't necessarily mean within a month or two it's taking off, but I do feel within a few years you're going to see extreme progress. I feel 2021 is really the start of that progress in more of a leaps and bounds energy right now. I can't speak for the rest of the year yet, but I do feel that a lot of the foundational progress is being made in the month of 2021. So just to stay positive, I do feel that there is maybe a little bit of bored, restless energy with you, that you're not sure. I feel that you're a little indecisive about which way to go. You've got some decisions to make in January, and maybe you are feeling a little bit criticized in some respect, or maybe it's self-criticism. But either way, I feel that you're learning some new skills here. You're doing a lot more research, or progress is taking place around new learning. But definitely, you're having to let go of a lot of old concepts about yourself, and I feel that there's a lot of momentum and change on several fronts. Again, a lot of internal changes for you, and a lot of changes in your work-related atmospheres as well as relationships. So I do feel this year is really significant for you. Definitely, you need to pay attention to your intuition and that kind of thing for the month of January, because I feel that there's a lot of protection around you in helping and encouraging you to make some positive moves here. And definitely there is going to be some gains and extra money that comes through, as you go along throughout the year. But I feel, again, in terms of personal relationships, that there is going to be some doors closing there. But I feel that you're really moving into a realm of completely changing your life on several fronts here. So you're leaving the past behind, and a lot of things that you know you weren't completely invested in are starting to fall away here, because your goals are now being realized. You have a fresh start. You have a fresh picture of how you want to see things go. And I just feel like it's a great new way for you to start out the year, is to really get focused. And I think in doing so, you're boosting your self-esteem, and you're able to really take charge and be responsible for your outcome. In terms of money, again, I feel that there's some major goals that are, in the works here, and that you're just, again, still at the beginning phase. Like, I feel like these are projects that you've been working on for some time, but I don't know that you've really made some dramatic finishes to those projects at this point. I still feel these are things that you're still building on. I do feel that with the following card, the fire card, that there is some sense of, this is a passion project. For some of you, it might indicate that there's some, again, because I did sense there was conflict in the month of January, probably toward the latter part of January, last couple of weeks. I do feel that something has you worried, or is, becoming more of an issue where you're quite angry, you're not communicating maybe very well. Maybe you feel that there is a lot of pent up energy that's not being expelled, but it is letting you know that there is some major transformation that's going on. So maybe that's why you're feeling all this discomfort. But you still have drive, you still have motivation. I did feel there was some wands and swords throughout the reading. So for sure, I do feel you're still in your head with a lot of this, but you definitely have more commitment, and you're ambitious, and you're moving toward this new journey here. So this is also relating around a lot of personal growth for you. So it's not just completing a means to an end on your goals. So I'll get right into the rest of the reading here. This is, I pulled, as I say, a few of the cards. I'll just bring them forward here, but I have quite a few cards here pulled. And then, of course, I've got the Rider-Waite deck. So this might be a little bit more of a longer read for some of you, but you can always come back to it. So next card out is the Fates. And if you can see that, so the Fates. So this is really a card that is, first off, it's the Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid, and essentially the Fates is a card of karma. So it indicates there's a level of acceptance that you'll have to come to with regards to some area of your life. So again, there's a reminder that you can't control all the elements in your life, and some things are left to stay a mystery. They're not really to be answered, but they're more of an experience. And there was a few cards here as well that came up as karma cards. So I feel that this is really relevant in terms of some kind of relationship as well. So definitely, I don't usually do relationship reads, but if it comes through, I'll touch on it, and you can always go to some of the other readers to flesh it out. But there is definitely an overtone of a relationship here. And again, you can't dictate how you want people to behave. I mean, you can only really control your own behavior, but the behavior of another may be the result of how spirit would like you to reflect on the way you're communicating and responding when relating to another. I don't feel that this is an outcome that you can control. I feel that this is more of an inward journey. So whatever's happening between you and another person that you're in conflict with or opposition to, I feel that this is really a learning tool that you need to work through. This is not something relating to you taking control of how you want to direct another person to behave that's comfortable for you. It's really about you making the internal changes to respond to this other person. So I feel that whatever the resistance, again, or the opposition that you're facing with this other person, you're being called to meet the other person with less resistance, less judgment, less conflict. Choose a more understanding response versus that expectation to change or to wait for that change to come from them. So the change within yourself seems to be the call from Spirit that you need to meet for the month of January, where your responses to one another are intended to involve one another. So I feel that there is more of an unconditional love that's required at this time. And again, to adjust your position to one where it's more flexible versus you trying to over control a situation or direct that relationship. So for those where your primary relationship is highlighted, again, the karma card speaks to a more fated union that you're meant to grow from, to become a better version of yourself. So for others of you, it might relate around a business partnership or a deep connection to a friendship or something along that line, or someone that maybe that feels like family to you. But there's definitely something to be learned from this particular union. Okay, so in terms of money, this card is really about, things being out of your control regarding prosperity and abundance, or that you feel that it is for the month of January. You might feel like you're putting out more money and not a lot of return coming back, or not a lot of chance to build it up. So it just, again, it feels like there's more of a continuation of the status quo. So whatever the status quo was, from December, I feel there's still that little bit of carryover where not really much more disruption, just that you're maintaining the same status quo. If you still had a lot of bills and you were really stretched for paying those bills, I feel that is pretty much the sense that things will continue on in that same vein for this month. But you could be going through a difficult time, or you just coming through a difficult time. But again, just remember it's a temporary situation. Just ride it out, because I feel that there's a lot more positivity coming toward the end of the month for you. I don't feel that it's a strong hardship or anything for you for the month of January. So just let me clarify that. So you will see choices coming in soon, likely into February. But again, end of January, I feel you're hearing about something, some opportunity, but I don't think there will be an actual change until later on into the months. But February is likely, and spring seem to be very noteworthy as well. But anyway, you'll know about the direction that you need to go, because there's a lot of cards that, temperance cards and so on, and Two of Wands, where there's still some kind of decision that needs to be made. Three of Wands came up as well, where there's a period of waiting. So there's definitely something that you're having to wait for as well. That's what I'll just get at here. But if you are feeling unsettled in some area of your life, just know that it's all part of the process right now to direct you. It can't be avoided. This chaos or this uncertainty or this, instability, it can't be avoided. You have to go with it, because it's part of what's keeping you. Just keep on doing what you're doing, and keep your focus on betterment, because it's part of what is helping to evolve you. So it's not something that you're just growing internally on. I feel it's actually a part of how you're going to manifest the bigger goal as well. I don't feel it's just an internal journey here. I feel it has to happen because it's part of where you're being directed. Okay, so the next card out is Chop Wood. And this card is basically, just stay humble and maintain. It's not really a breakthrough month in January. I feel that it's a month of continuing to chop wood and stay grounded is really what it's saying. And it's about getting things done in your everyday world. Things that help you to clear out your mental space, clear out your overall surrounding space, and just your overall energy in general. So it's about stepping back, before you can step forward, reorienting, your attention to your goals again, recalibrating, and just lining things up again so you can go forward. So again, I felt there was a lot of back and forth energy. Didn't feel that you were, aggressively going forward for the month of January. It just feels like you're making some incremental steps. So in terms of a relationship, chop wood is really about, you know, the mentality that things need, I feel that you're in the headspace where you feel that things need to be hard won, or that there needs to be some kind of real changes from another person. Again, January is not really the time for that. It's more about getting back to basics and doing the practical things. So like even just doing the dishes and washing the clothes and changing the oil in the car, whatever, just those mundane routine things. Maybe these are things that you've been neglecting, but they're also things that help you to clear a mental space. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes when we're in that mind-numbing, phase of doing something really repetitive, it frees up the mind, so you're not in a period of, caught up in your head too much. You're actually freeing the mind in some way so that you can actually allow the inspiration to come in, because you're just doing something repetitive and not really allowing for a lot of your own thoughts to convolute, or block you in some way. So I do feel that, again, the inspiration is still, it's coming to you in little bits throughout the month of January. But in terms of friendships and relationships, I do feel that you might be feeling a little bit bored, or that there's a bit of a lull right now, which understandably, the pandemic is still, prevalent in various parts of the world. There's still a lot of restrictions. So, understandable. There's that ebb and flow is what I'm getting at here. But take advantage of that time, because this is really a time where you need the space to grow and to allow thoughts into your head that, help you to build on your current dreams and goals, and just to organize your thoughts. So I wouldn't be too caught up with where your relationships are at this point. So in terms of money, just go with it. Again, there's that practical mantra all over this reading. So staying, to the practical means you're building your foundation. You're keeping it steady. No big expenditures. You're getting the basic bills paid. You're addressing that mundane aspect of life, so to speak. You're keeping your foundation safe. That seems to be the message overall, as I said, for the month of January. So again, it's about small steps, not large leaps. In terms of your goals, it would also speak to this, putting in the time to just get things done, but again, in incremental ways. Okay, so the next card out is actually the TikTok card. And again, with the TikTok card, it does represent the same theme. It still represents your need to control some aspect of your life right now. You feel that you need to control your relationships, or direct them, or direct your business aspirations, or your goal aspirations. But again, the message is to let go of your expectations about how long something should take, when things need to happen, and how they need to happen. Don't try to shape so much of the outcome, at least not for the month of January. That's not what's being called for. Just live in the moment of your creativity and your inspiration. Let it come through, let it flow. Embrace the love that you might feel in a relationship, or a closeness with a friend. Just let things unfold. Don't try to be overly critical or judgmental, or how you think something needs to be, because the divine has another timetable for you here, and it takes the time that it takes, basically, to line things up as they need to be lined up. So right now you are still to act, but from a practical standpoint, on all fronts, not just with regards to your goals. So again, looking after the practical actions of your day-to-day, still leading with intention. Again, this is not a card of, staying in your head and daydreaming, but it's about building your foundation. So nurture your endeavors at this time is the overall message. Be assured that your commitment will pay off over time, but you're just doing what it takes to get by day to day. This is really where most of your energy needs to go, and able to affect the real changes that will be unfolding as the months progress. So again, I don't feel, I mean, maybe you're feeling a little bit bored, but, to be honest, few people find interest in the practical because they don't feel that it is something's getting done fast enough. It's not inspiring. It's dry. It doesn't, create a lot of energy for your momentum. But I mean, there are other things that you can do to keep yourself inspired as well. I mean, create vision boards and write down day-to-day journal. Where you're at in your project, how much progress you've made. Like anything that walking in nature may be the thing that inspires you. Listening to music, but whatever it takes to kind of help you get through some of the practical mundane things that are boring to you. Maybe going off into to research something new, learning a new skill as well, just to help keep you engrossed in the moment, I guess, but overall, you don't want to negate the importance of your foundation. It is incredibly important to build a strong foundation, especially when the whole reading really is all about newness coming through, especially for the new year for all of us. I mean, there's going to be a lot of significant changes for a lot of the signs. But the next card out is Poised. And okay, so Poised is really about, just being ready for this new phase of life that you're about to embark on for this year. So again, if you're interested in trying new things, this is the year that you should begin those activities. And as it relates to relationships, you have to be in a positive, healthy state of mind to be able to attract that same energy. So this card, can speak to new relationships coming in over the next few months. But for others of other Gemini parties, it'll be more along the lines of a deeper intimacy and friendships or close connections, in love that are just, they're becoming, there's more of an understanding, there's more of a depth to your overall connections, period. So let's just keep it to, be yourself, find the lighter side of yourself, to operate from, and, stay open without judgment. That's really what this month is really about, because the energy will best serve you with these connections if you stay in that headspace. So in terms of money, you're really about to take a giant leap, as I said this year, into your true purpose. This is your soul's calling card that comes through. And there's a lot of cards that speak to that. There was Judgment card that comes out with the Rider-Waite, but I'll pull those forward as we get through to, the more along the lines of the career and finance aspects. But this is the year for you implementing a lot of the tools that you'll need, resourcing material, researching, educating yourself, calling in the things that you need, drawing in people to you, creating and building. This is where you actually have the ability to make it all happen, is basically what I'm saying is these things are all at your disposal for this year. And certainly at the very least, when you seek it, you may not see everything right off the cuff, and that's where you're relying on your intuition, but you're going to recognize what you need as it becomes visible to you. So again, not everything is happening at once. It's sort of incremental energies or doorways that are opening for you to be able to see what your next move and the next move and the next move will be. So again, this is a year where you're actually seeing the shape of things begin to really take form. So don't wing things or improvise where you should be doing the work. You need to do the work. You have the skills, so you have to put in the time and really turn out something very deliberate and intentional. So your efforts this year need to be put into these projects. You really need to invest in the research, because this is shaping you, as I said, internally in many ways, outside and inside. Whatever that finished project looks like for you, it's really about, taking the time to really, it's really important that you put in that time and effort, because you're needing to shift your energy and change the design of you in many ways. So follow it through, finish it, and stay focused on the positive, because that's really the rest of the year is definitely moving in that direction. So chaos and conflict, again, all the cards really complement one another here. Chaos and conflict is, just solidifies everything I've said. It's about you moving in a direction that's very new territory for you. It's about shedding that former self, releasing it in a lot of ways. You might be at a crossroads with some aspects of your journey, with yourself or with another, but you're going to be reinventing who you are here. So it's okay to let go of what you feel you should be doing, or how it should be unfolding, or how someone else should be, because you're going to be changing. And so it's okay if they're changing with you, because that's the whole point. You're evolving each other. So whatever conflicts are rising up externally, Spirit is letting you know it's really about the internal conflicts that you're not addressing. So if there is something that is really stressing you out or overwhelming you, or you're just ruminating over or obsessing over a particular issue, just remember that for whatever reason you seem to be projecting this onto this other person or this other friendship or relationship or whatever. You're projecting it. So there's some kind of incompleteness in yourself, or some kind of anxiety or tension that I feel is unresolved, or something you're maybe not willing to face right now. But just if you can't find all the answers right now, again, toward the end of the month, there was, a lot of introspection with the Hermit card. So I feel those answers will come. So don't push yourself for the resolve. Just let things unfold. Don't be judgmental. Stay open, because it will help you in the long run to keep that relationship, but also to allow some healing time in between as you come to these resolves or these answers. So again, as the previous cards here mentioned, this is a time for you to understand. It's not a time for you to expect others to understand your motivations. So again, this could speak to some kind of external conflict that's rising up as well. And again, it probably will come in around that second week of January. And because again, there's some healing cards, there's some retreat cards with the Four of Swords that came up too. Again, I'll pull those forward toward the end, but it's personal conflicts of some sort. But you're best to redirect your energy. Better self-talk, change your perspective. Put your energy into constructive, actions or projects. So, what do you need to say to yourself to understand your own, mystery, or your own result, your own concerns? Like, how do you de-escalate your own thoughts, right? So every time you have some kind of drama that's coming up, how do you minimize it? How do you talk yourself down and put your focus on the things that really matter here? Relationships for sure really matter, but again, if you can't resolve everything in one afternoon, sometimes it's best to take that step backward, to take the 2 steps forward. So just remembering your own value and what you're bringing to the world can also help you to focus on what's important versus, the incidentals and the things that we feel should be happening. I feel that external validation is something that, may have been something that you required or you relied on, but it's not long lasting. You really have to use your own voice and, support yourself, and especially in the month of January. I feel that you really need to find your voice and put it out there. And that comes from a place of valuing yourself. So however you're expressing that, whether it's in art or books or, writing, that kind of thing, or, maybe doing a channel. But either way, your voice, you need to find your voice and come from a place of you valuing you and what do you believe in and what do you really want to say. So in terms of relationships, again, definitely speaks to some kind of conflict or stubbornness or some kind of uncompromising approach, either from you or the other person. But if that continues, there will be a prolonging of that energy. And, it's not, again, I feel for the month of January, it's more a time to reflect on what's really important. Not the small things, but underlying what are the values that really are more significant overall. So if it's truly something you absolutely cannot compromise on or be negotiable with, then there's no point in really arguing it out, in the heat of the moment, because no one's listening. So, just let the other person sit with the ideas, you sit with your ideas and your thoughts, and then bring forward, at another time, regroup about those issues when everything's not so heated and electric. So again, remember that Sorry, the point of this connection is to evolve each other. So you don't want to leave a lot of scars and harm and damage things more. It's really about, finding a compromise and enlightening yourself with a new perspective so that you're both bringing something new to the table, not the old mindset, because that's what keeps you stuck. So you have to find some middle ground, some little bit of sacrifice is required here. But it's always difficult to release the familiar, or it's always difficult to release the familiar, because this is really, your comfort zone. This is a place that is where we have a lot of our own information, where we've been able to um, gain some kind of, I don't want to say power, but gain some kind of insight. Now you're moving into a new you and a new territory. So you can't really rely on those old familiars. You have to, come to new mindsets. And again, that's going to take, I feel for you, it's going to take some of the external to change you internally. And again, that may be why the argument or the conflict, because it's going to evolve you to really consider somebody else, instead of coming from a place internally where you're saying, well, this is my limits, this is my values, this is what you have to do to change for me. I think it really needs to come externally inward this time. So this path that you're on is intended to bring you to a new level of awareness, as I mentioned. So again, it's about yourself. It's not just groundbreaking levels in the material world, as the months unfold, but it's really, chaos is really where you're shaking some things up. You're finding out what the real path is to this prosperity, and you're having to go through the darker cloud of opposition, so to speak. So it's not, the challenge is not that you're just to take on the challenge, it's a challenge that has to transform you. So you can't stop halfway there. You have to actually allow yourself to be transformed by the obstacles and the challenges. So there has to be an openness to growth. So whatever is stirred up is just a resorting of the elements around you. And that's to help you see what you actually value in that moment, and to try to see how that's going to benefit you over the long term and how you can work with that. So if you allow yourself to seek that new perspective, that new understanding, you're going to be transformed in the way that you need to be able to move ahead. Okay, next card out. This deck is actually the Wild Root Tarot by Mark Ryan and John Matthews, with illustrations by Will Worthington. Okay, so this card is the Two of Stones, and it is about challenge. So again, starts off with the same issue around a conflict. So now for some of you, this could be a dynamic taking place in the workplace, but again, for others, it's more of a personal relationship. But either way, there's no getting around it. At some point in January, for many of you, there's some kind of rivalry or territorial position. Something needs to be, something needs to be worked through, because there's a sense of, you feel threatened in some way, or you feel some kind of a challenge. There's some kind of, some issue to be worked through anyway. But you're being asked again to see the reality of the situation. Don't behave from that emotional place, that reactionary place. You want to have pure and positive motivations, toward that favorable outcome. And when I say pure and positive motivations, meaning stay focused on your objective. Don't pollute it with emotional baggage. Make sure that you're clear on what it is that you actually want as an outcome. You're coming from an ethical place. You're not, doing something damaging or saying damaging things. You want to be fair in the situation, because it's not about defending your position so much as it is about learning a practical skill, evolving, and then I just feel this conflict will fall away. It'll become less and less. And you don't want to make it, so like a vicious kind of situation, because then that, again, it prolongs the situation. It prolongs, and it puts focus on the wrong things. If there's a lot of drama around jealousy or insecurity or mistrust, whether it's on your part or another, you're deviating away from your plan, and you're not you're not in a place of healing, or you're not in a place of transformation, you're adding to and compounding the emotion toward whatever it is, whatever the conflict is about. But just remember your plan, where your project is headed, what you want your outcome to be, whether that's in the work sphere or in terms of another relationship, and compromise. How can the two of you find that middle ground? Give a little in a direction where the underlying issues are really stemming from. So the next card out is the Queen of Bows, however there. So this card is really about a person. I feel for many of you, it really is about someone who is quite attractive, somebody who attracts people, who's popular, who's social, somebody who really comes across as fairly self-assured. This is a really committed person to you, or you to them. And again, it can be, somebody who generally comes to your aid or defends you, or you to them. So again, if we're talking about projects, and not a person, it would be about speaking to that successful outcome in business. It's a fertile energy with the hair, but it's with whatever you're working on. So again, there's a residual energy that still comes through to me that indicates there's a confrontation here. Again, look for a peaceful approach to its resolution. Don't escalate things. You want to be compassionate, kind, and use a responsible attitude, and look for the compromise. Next card out is the Five of Stones. So the Five of Stones, it's drawing on your inner strength, and help you get through this period of instability, to overcome those challenges. So again, you may need to step back, protect your emotional energy, because as I mentioned, there was some hermit energy. There was also the Four Swords that came through, and it's just about you regaining some grounding, separating yourself from the emotional reactions, so that you can act from a place of integrity and become more spiritually aware, following your intuition, just because that will help to lead you through to a more resilient place. So this card, again, has a very poignant message that you're becoming a spiritual warrior here of sorts. You're allowing yourself to be curious, seek out more than one solution, but you're enduring it. You're embracing the adventure. Whether it's fair or unfair, whatever that challenge or those obstacles are, it is helping you to metamorphosize, and you're blending your knowledge. You're becoming more resilient when you are faced with each setback. Your reaction is less fearful and more adaptable. So, whether you find your sense of humor through it, or if you, just take it in stride with less of that wear and tear on your overall health, mental health, whatever it is for you, however stress affects you, either way, I feel you're facing it with less reaction, over time, because you're becoming more enlightened, and you've got more of a wisdom, and there's more courage, which levels up your energy, to move into this new game field where, of the future, because you're actually coming from a place of deeper introspection, and you're transforming. You're allowing yourself to be open to transforming. You're not trying to remain in the old space. The next card out is the Knight of Arrows, and that's the hawk energy. So this one is, again, there was a lot of references to spring. I don't know what's happening in spring, but there's a lot of references to spring. So it seems as though there's some kind of event or a situation or something of importance that might be coming through for you around that time. But, the hawk represents the energy of, having great vision and the power to move toward a goal. So again, that courage, that fearlessness is coming through. It's helping you to see beyond the immediate and use that as leverage to your advantage. So there is another aspect of this card as well that's a little more on a negative side, where, someone could be yourself or the other person that's holding a grudge, but for the most part, it's kind of a swift turn of events, coming in and moving out, and you're still moving toward like-minded people, or you're having some kind of revolutionary ideas or something that's coming through, great insight, again, toward the latter half of January, I suspect. But for many of you, I feel this energy is around a struggle, to remain clear-sighted, because again, as we get through to the Rider-Waite, there were cards that indicated a lot of aha moments, clarity coming through for you. So as these things come up, these challenges or these disagreements or these insecurities within you, the things that you are rigidly clinging to, periodically, that self-doubt, all of that, I feel that you're gaining some real keen insight, which is allowing you to transform, as I said, allowing some space, that's coming from those practical routine tasks, and that kind of mindless activity is where you're picking up these visionary ideas and the insights to resolve those deeper issues that are coming through, and that's going to clear a path for you. So the next card out is the Queen of Arrows. So again, with the Queen of Arrows, again, speaking to a person of honesty and integrity, career-oriented person, someone who's fairly direct, intelligent, independent, all of that, whether it's you or someone else around you. This card can also speak to a feeling of loss, maybe even over this person, or some degree of suffering, or some kind of conflict, or maybe this is something that, is just representing a period of stress for you, but there is some kind of a truth that is coming out, or some kind of clarity, maybe something spoken, or an unpleasant truth that's being dealt with here. But, again, you're asked to remain compromising and rational, not reactionary, evolve with the situation rather than tuning it out, because you are, again, meant to grow beyond the moment. And this is, just a moment that's happening in the month of, in January. So next card's out is Hidden Motivations. And this is the Quantum Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. This card represents some kind of decision that may be coming up for you in January. You don't have enough information, really, I feel, to proceed going forward. So you're asked to be patient. Again, Rider-Waite deck came up with Temperance card and all of that. So for sure, there's lots of, movement and then reflection, movement and then reflection. So you might not be clear on how to proceed yet with your goals at this time, or in some aspect of your life, and I also feel that there's, for some of you, some kind of emotional shutdown. Maybe you're still dealing with some kind of past hurt, or that you're doubting yourself or your abilities at varying points throughout January. Again, it could be just that you're just not sure how to move or act in a particular situation. But just, again, stay open to your intuition at this time. This is when your answers will become clear. There's no need to force a solution. You're not really operating with all the details. So it's harder to make an informed decision with less information. So you don't have to have all the pieces, but once you feel like you've got a little more to move on, I feel you will be able to get clear again on where you're headed. So, and what's important to you. But again, I also feel that there is a sense of help that's coming in, that will allow you to see what those opportunities are. I'm not sure if that help is coming by way of the internet, but somehow, again, you're getting some kind of inspiration or guidance. Again, could be just, coming through from the divine, but something is helping you out in January to find your way, to, so that you're able to lead in a direction that is building on your existing skill base. So, but I also was trying to think of another way of, I'm just going to say as well, I think you're getting ideas that just sort of pop into your head randomly as well. But there is sort of that healing energy as well still coming through around the heart space. So I suspect that, there's some kind of pain there. For some of you, it could be just that you're a healer and you're a healing light in somebody else's life, but it's definitely either way, some kind of a time for you to rely on those intuitive insights. So again, could speak to alternative healing practices for a few of you, but just because there's a lot of energy that's coming through from divine intervention here. And again, even with the with the vast universe and with the sacred temple, I mean, these are all cards, again, sort of working in tandem. They really do speak to, you coming into a level of confidence after healing. So, something is allowing you to feel empowered, it's a place of power and inspiration that comes through with the Sacred Temple card as well. It's where you're tapping into that divine world that, has the hidden realms of knowledge, the Akashic records, all of that, and it's helping you to connect to that place of peace and inner balance. So, again, that vault of the Akashic records is where you're able to access, whatever it is you need, spiritually, personally, financially, creative wisdoms, that kind of thing. You're connecting to source here, and it's helping to keep you open. And again, that's where I feel many of you are really transferring this energy into your projects, because you're being transformed by doing the project, but you're getting these little insights throughout the month of January, and they're coming from a deeper spiritual place, which again I feel is bringing you peace and calm, and you are trusting your instincts more. So, I do feel that overall you're moving in a place of healing light, like with the card here, as I said. I mean, they all kind of work in tandem. But the only other thing is again, I mean, there was a card that came through, as I said. I feel like you're getting assistance of some sort with the teacher card, but I can't be clear on whether or not this is coming to you, via insights, or an actual person that's coming your way, somebody that's guiding you in some way. But either way, this could come in the form of even education, taking classes, higher learning, researching something. But it is something that involves more learning regardless. It's something that involves more learning for you for the month of January. So again, for others of you, it could be just speaking to, moving in toward more of a higher purpose, sense of purpose spiritually. But again, for the majority, I still feel it's higher education. The next card out is the loss card. Okay, this one I feel is, it's a minor loss. I don't feel like you're feeling, completely depressed and in a deep, dark place. I just feel that it's more of a minor loss, something that, where you feel like you're drifting away from something, whether it's a work situation or family, dynamic, or a relationship of some sort. There's a degree of a feeling of loss anyway. But I mean, it could even be on the front of a financial loss. Maybe you feel that you've taken some financial hits, and there's some instability around that. But when I did pull some additional cards around that, with the Rider-Waite deck, the cards that came out was the Sun card. So there's definitely a reason for you to feel hopeful. It's a positive. So it's how you feel. It doesn't mean that's what the outcome will be. We also have the Lovers card. So I feel around a partnership of some sort, definitely there's a reason for you to have hope on that front as well, whether that is a friendship partnership, business partnership, intimate partnership. But there's definitely a hopeful front there. So, especially after a period of challenge or conflict, which was part of the clarifiers as well. But I feel that you just to be patient here with the Seven of Pentacles. To me, it just suggests waiting it out, especially with the Sun card. There's reason to be optimistic. So next cards out is the Loving Woman. So again, a lot of these are really intricately wound together. It's really integral to the reading and the conflict, is what I would say, repeating messages. So this is a person that's either currently in your life or about to be, but I feel many of you are aware of who this is. It can represent a friend, a family member, lover, but ultimately this is a caring person with a genuine disposition, someone who's really valuable to you in your life. Can speak to you just being more loving and compassionate to yourself at this time as well. But on the average, I feel it's more directed to a person. But you also have, this is the next deck out, which is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And it speaks to a victory in some way, a version of completion of something that you're doing or that you're taking pride in, something that gives you a sense of accomplishment. So whether you're feeling that you met the challenge and you're going to be faced, whether you feel that you've met this challenge in January, I feel how do I say that? I feel that you've leveled up in some way and you've developed a skill out of it. That's why you're able to move to these deeper places. So, again, I think that there's a lot of energy around you going forward with a lot of confidence. As I said, I mean, there's the angels of love. I feel that you're really being protected. I feel that they're with the Emperor energy. This is also someone who is, I feel that it's somebody who's passed. I think for a lot of you, it's a father figure. I do feel with the Emperor energy that this is also, could be the teacher or the guide that's coming through to assist you in leveling up and moving ahead. But, you do have the Caring Connections card as well. So again, really strong relationship oriented read, like overtones into your career aspects. So somehow the two are very strongly entwined. I don't know if maybe this is the person that's actually assisting you, and it could very well be. So that's why I say don't be too quick to write off, a relationship that appears to be maybe a little more uncertain, because it really is something that you need to invest in here by the looks of it. So again, with the third chakra, this is a solar plexus energy. Can't speak today. Solar plexus energy. You definitely are getting wisdom here. You're being guided throughout. So just again, rely on your intuition, and you should be fine here. So I'm just going to pull the Rider-Waite deck cards out here, and again, I've got clarifiers on that. But just in short, again, the Angel of Love card is that compassionate energy toward you, or a feeling of affection for someone else. And again, I also just want to add this in there because I think for a small number of you, maybe it is that longing for that deeper connection with someone where you feel that something is feels a little out of your range to heal or fix, but it's going to turn in your favor soon. And again, there were cards with the Rider-Waite deck that spoke to, the wheel of fortune. So I feel that there is going to be some kind of something's moving in your direction anyway, in a positive way. So again, start with the intention, the energy will follow. I do feel that this is coming in for a lot of you. Really positive energy around healing those relationships or that relationship, and kind of forging closer bonds. But again, with that Emperor clarifying back here, and because we did have the Temperance card, I just feel that there's an energy around you that someone is coming through to. I guess we're back too far there. But there's an energy around you that somebody is, I feel it's a masculine energy, but it, represents somebody maybe who's very structured and established. But this is somebody that I feel is trying to assist you in some way. A lot of energy around connections and compassion and divinely led guidance. So just to be aware of that. So again, with the Caring Connections, whether that is relevant to kindred friendship, strong partnership, or something that's, developing a deeper connection romantically, I just feel that that card actually represents also a karmic energy as well. So again, lots of cards that kind of spoke to that karmic energy. So again, it's a relationship that needs to evolve you. Okay, so getting into the career and finance aspect here, and this is going into the Rider-Waite deck. So first card out is the King of Wands. Now this card is, I feel is really about you being re-inspired here. I feel that you're starting to move in that direction, as I mentioned earlier. With the King of Wands, it's representing someone who's bold. If it is a person, it's going to represent somebody who's bold and inspiring and powerful in their own right. And this could be you, or it could be somebody around you. But I feel it's less related to the person. I think it's more about you just setting the intention and taking action this week. So again, this is really, we're talking about the first week here, the first 2 weeks of January. So the next card that clarified is the Four of Cups. So, and that was actually clarified with the Two of Cups. So a lot of emotional energy here in the first couple of weeks, and again, maybe that's where you're feeling that you're missing something around a partnership of some sort, or that there's a closeness that you're worried about here, but you could be just retreating, trying to heal something, but there's a sense of doubt anyway, and introspection, and a pulling back, and it's related around your emotional center. So, I mean, it can look like a bit of a defensive energy as well, because there were some cards around that too, but Overall, it's just a sense of not knowing what to do yet. So we've also got the Knight of Wands. And I feel this is really about, coming through with a message, and, that you're either getting some assistance from this person that you're well connected to, or that this person is just very well connected, because it is followed up, as I said, with the King of Pentacles. So really grounded energy, really established person in business, or somebody who you consider to be quite stable. It could also be that you're just moving into a place where you're more established, or you're feeling more established, more stable, and bettering yourself. But you're taking a more responsible approach, I feel, toward your goals, and you're really thinking things through. I feel you're coming from a more grounded place. There's more of a drive and a determination behind your goals, even though the energy is still a little back and forth throughout the month of January. 2 steps forward, then you retreat and go in for guidance and try to figure out, reorient where you're headed. But again, a lot of Wands energy coming through, which represents to me that you're focusing on your ambitions this month. And again, still with that retreat and hermit energy, a little defensiveness. There was also some devil energy that came through as well. Again, more of the Empress Libra energy coming through. A lot of the energy that relate around the signs here would be Libra, Leo energies coming through, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. All of that may be relevant to you, but definitely a lot of Libra energy here. But again, I still feel with this Libra energy, or this Empress card, that you're focusing, for some of you, it's just focusing and developing more personally on your goals. And for others, it's relating to an actual person. I do feel, because there was and again, a lot of retreat and pulling back and forth energy there, but you've also got the Queen of Wands, and I feel this is really related to the Libra energy. So again, I feel that this is one person, not several. But I feel that this is, with the Queen of Wands, it's somebody who's really confident, very ambitious, optimistic, really connected to others, and attractive, and really expressive kind of person. But there's also following up with the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, to me, in this reading anyway, it just feels that, it was clarified by the Queen of Cups here. So I'll just mention that. So I feel you're using your intuition to arrive at some kind of clarity with the King of Swords. I do feel that for some of you, it's really relating around literary pursuits. But again, there's a lot of knights coming through here too with the Knight of Cups. So I feel that you are starting to really take some action here. And definitely, the Knight of Cups was clarified by the Fool energy. So again, the action is you're jumping in here. You're more optimistic. You're not letting your fears hold you back. And I'm going to say toward the end of the second week, there is some sense of a reason to celebrate. And I feel that, whether this is you just being more connected, or feeling more connected to community or friends or family, maybe this is just an overall feeling that you're able to be more emotionally expressive with others. For some of you, and but I feel that there's some kind of completion, or something that's making you feel proud of yourself. There's some kind of reward that's coming through here with the Nine of Pentacles. But I feel that you're just feeling really good about something that you've done. And also, there was a Page of Pentacles that comes through here later as well, and I feel that one is more related to good news coming through as well for you. And again, this is still in the first 2 weeks, but toward the latter portion. There was the Good Fortune card as well, so again, things are turning in your favor with wish fulfillment. So I feel you're getting something that you wanted. And again, with the Page of Pentacles, which I'll get to as we go through, this wish fulfillment, I feel this is something that you wanted. Even though, there was, okay, because I've sort of merged my Rider-Waite decks together. That's why you see doubles here. This one was actually in reverse. So I feel with the reverse, you're getting some kind of wish fulfillment that's coming through after a time of difficulty. So, with the Five of Swords, there was a rough period here. So after some kind of a, rough patch, I feel that everything is starting to turn around now. And whether that's in terms of money, but I do feel as well there is some kind of clarity that might be coming through, around a legal issue for some of you, because the Libra energy came through with the Justice card. As I go through, I'll pull those and you'll see, but also with that King of Swords. So again, for some of you, it could be a legal issue that's coming through, but it's still turning in your favor. So for others, again, it's around a relationship or a friendship or partnership, but Libra energy all over this reading. So still feels around a karmic energy, the Wheel of Fortune and the wish fulfillment. You've moved past this difficult period and things that were in reverse, and certainly with the Five of Swords, challenging. There is good news that's coming through here. And again, and that's with the Page of Pentacles. The good news is coming through. And for sure, you're getting some clarity, I feel, that's coming through here as well with the Page of Swords. So, and that may be clarity around, for some reason, I'm getting a sense of emotional maturity and a calm, rational approach. And again, maybe that's you or the way a situation is being handled, but it's something to deal with after a conflict. But I feel you're hearing the good news. As I said, something is going to be revealed here. Again, lots of Libra energy. We've got the Three of Pentacles. I feel like something is coming out, or there's clarity of some sort. We've got... again, there's Hermit card that's coming through here as well, but I still feel a lot of intuitive energy that's coming through, especially with the King of Cups here and the Queen of Pentacles. Really, I don't feel like it's hundreds of, different people coming through in the reading. I feel that some of these energies are combined with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, and that Libra energy possibly even as well. But either way, there's also sort of a secondary message that I feel that you're still being pulled, like I said, a little back and forth here, because even though the Queen of Pentacles, practical energy, you're still moving forward, money is likely coming through here toward or you're hearing about it toward the latter part. There's a lot of teamwork. There's, you're working well with other people, because that's why I think this good news is coming forward. But you're still relying on your intuition here, because you're still stressed out about something. You're still really worried about something, or you're defensive about something, or you're feeling a lot of insecurities, and maybe you're trying to over control something with the Chariot card. But again, I feel there's also an indecisive nature there, where you feel like you're being pulled in two different directions, where you need to make some kind of a decision. But I feel that you're more in control, and you're determined to accept what's ahead, because even though you've been given the Patience card and just to wait it out, the solution will come to you. I feel that you do still need to make a decision, but you're feeling more positive about that solution, and you're letting go of those insecurities about something that you were feeling defensive about, with that Seven of Wands energy. So, which is at the very end here, that Seven of Wands energy. But, again, I feel that, maybe you were competing for something at work, something on the work front, or something that you were feeling at odds with, or, something that you felt you were struggling over. But anyway, again, necessary part of the journey with the Temperance card, just a necessary part of evolving you, and that struggle was, divinely orchestrated. And again, I feel a past loved one is there for some of you. You are being shown the way. And again, because I feel that there's, in that second week, there's still a bit of a struggle energy there with the Devil energy. Maybe just watch your thoughts. But you are moving away from that energy. You're steering away from the negativity here, even though you're feeling really challenged and defensive. So that's the first 2 weeks of January for your finances. The last 2 weeks came up with the Four of Wands. So with the Four of Wands all around your home front, I feel that there was a sense of, financial lack, because that was clarified with the Five of Pentacles. So I feel that around your home front, you're still taking inspired action, because you do have, the inspiration card with the Ace of Wands. So I feel there's still a lot of excitement around your project. But again, it's more of a long-term commitment because the Three of Wands tells me there's some kind of a wait. It's a longer ways out yet, but you're still building your foundation. And again, that was clarified with the Strength card. So I do feel you're taking inspired action. It's intuitively charged with the High Priestess, and you're relying on that inner wisdom because it really speaks to a lot of the potential that is yet to follow with the Empress, the Libra card. Again, lots of repeats here, so a lot of the message is reinforced, I feel. So again, you're relying on this inner wisdom. You've got a lot of hidden potential, and in that third week, or third to fourth, like that, we're dealing with the last 2 weeks anyway of January, there's a victory. There's another sense of, that good news that's coming through. Something is moving in your favor. I just feel that there's, even though you're dedicated and you're committed to, these different projects that you're doing, there was still a victory again around a partnership. And as well, I feel that there's some real insight that's been gained here because, with the Judgment card and the Knight of Pentacles, it just to me really speaks to kind of a slow moving energy, but something that's really practical and something that's just really practical. And even though I don't feel it's necessarily money that's coming through there, I feel it's a reliable energy. There's a real sense of being, you can rely on this partnership, to work with you. So again, even though I do feel toward the end of January, there is some kind of movement toward good news coming through. I feel it's an actual job opportunity or some kind of a bonus or some kind of, advancement in a particular position. I do feel it's something along that line. So the money may not actually be coming through, but that new position is going to come with more money, is my feeling. So it is coming with a lot of responsibility, though. So again, you're overcoming something. There might be some kind of a sacrifice or hardships that you've had to go through, but you've got clarity coming through with both cards here, with the Ace as well as the Page of Swords. You're getting some insight into how to move and proceed forward here. So again, if you're feeling a little bit indecisive because you are going to have to make some kind of a decision probably toward the end of the month, there is going to be an increase in pay, more responsibility. It feels along that line, but again, lots of repeat energies, Libra, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Leo energy around you, but a good start. You've got the Page of Cups, news coming in that the universe is coming through with something for you. And again, I feel it's around that opportunity. I feel that it is going to involve a fair amount of more work. Again, it feels like it is, for those that are already in an existing job, it feels like it is, it may be more pay, and it's certainly more, and it's unexpected with the Tower card. And again, this is inspired action and something that's being, again, another repeat card of a victory. So I feel you're getting a couple of victories here that are coming through for sure. I feel one is more along the lines of accomplishing, like completing something that you didn't think you'd get finished. The other is more along the lines of, being able to move up in a position. You've got another Knight of Cups coming through, some kind of something that's going to emotionally, make you happy and create some balance for you with the Two of Wands. But again, that energy still to me really speaks to a decision that has to be made, stressing you out to make that decision. But you have everything that you need to be able to go forward. You're retreating, you're falling back into some kind of intuitive place to be able to figure it out. But it's more money that's coming in with that new position. So you just have to be patient. You're being looked over here with, watched over with the Temperance card, and certainly again a lot more responsibility that's coming with this new position, but you still are being told to wait. So I don't feel that you're getting, if it is new advancement, it's not coming in the month of January, but you are being told about it, and it's somehow going to play out over the month of February is my take on it. So again, a lot of strong protection cards, a lot of major arcana, arcana cards in the January month here. So again, trust your intuition, on making these next moves. Stay safe, keep the faith. Your direction is the right one. You're on a soul's journey and a true path, and you're well supported. So again, Gemini, all the best to you, and look forward to following up in February. So again, I just wanted to reiterate that, you definitely have a lot, because I know I went through a lot of cards here. You definitely have a lot of prospects coming forward. I do feel you're working on more than one front here. I do feel that there is that job opportunity coming toward the end, or advancement, some kind of raise or some kind of position, but more responsibility on you. Again, don't write off your relationships. In the month of January, it feels like there's still a lot of reason to be hopeful and optimistic. You're really goal-oriented for the month of January. A lot of back and forth energy, but again, go with the flow is really the main overall tone. So again, looking forward to speaking to you in February, and all the best.